Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for tuning in to I Can Get You Fly TV show where you tune in for business after beauty school education. For the enthusiastic, ambitious student who wants to make your income rather than a standard 20K per year, I'm your host, Stylist John with I Can Get You Fly TV show. And the series I've been talking about is Go Where You're Celebrated. Now, why am I talking about Go Where You Celebrated? Well, the reason why I'm talking about Go Where You're Celebrated is because you definitely want to go where you're celebrated. And why is it good to go where you're celebrated? When you're celebrated, when you're inside of an opportunity and people love and care about you, there's a lot of energy in the room. And the energy that's in the room where you're celebrated, where people love and care about you, what does it do? It causes you to grow. Now, why does it cause you to grow? It causes you to grow because there was a study done by MIT students where they took a plant in a preschool, elementary school environment, and they told the students to say good and positive things to this particular plant. And they had an identical plant of the same nature and put it in another part of the classroom, and the kindergarten and preschool teachers, and the students said negative things to the other plant, and they put them separate from each other. So one plant, they told positive things, the other plant, they said negative things to him. What happened? It caused one of the plants to grow and increase, and the other one, it caused the other plant to decrease. Now, why did that happen? Well, your words have life. And the reason why your words have life is because you are an energy being. Your body is made of carbon, uh, electrons, protons, neutrons, flesh, muscle, bones. But the largest part is uh, your energetic makeup on the inside, your spirit, okay? And your spirit on the inside have power in it. And what do I mean by power? I'm talking about the power to communicate and the power of your tongue. The power of your tongue is a very uh, intricate and um, the power of your tongue is a very intricate and very unique thing, because with this tongue, with the words of this mouth, you can navigate yourself through life. And based on what you say, it causes an action or a reaction. So when you're around people that's constantly talking negative to you, when you're around people that's constantly saying negative things about your character, when you constantly around people that's constantly investigating and trying to figure you out instead of enjoying the company that you have, and instead of speaking well about you, uh, what happens? In one environment, you may feel celebrated. In the other environment, you may feel like you decreasing, like because you got to be on guard all the time. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, the reason why I'm talking about this is because sometimes at your place of business or a place you work at, you're going to be around people that don't like you. You're going to be around people that can't stand you and they won't tell you, but you can feel it from their energy. And so in those type of environments, sometimes you just got to go to work and go home. Now, why you got to go to work and go home sometimes? Well, because, sometimes people like to snoop around and be in your business and ask you a whole bunch of questions to try to psychoanalyze or figure you out. Or sometimes that meeting may even try to get your personal information and look your information up. Is that an environment that you want to grow in? No. Why? Because that person has, or those type of individuals have motives, and they have certain motives where they try to sabotage or disrupt different things that may be going on in your life. And so what do? You start to celebrate. Why? Because while you celebrating the situation that you're in, you won't be in that situation forever. Why do you celebrate? You begin to celebrate because people begin to remove themselves from you when they're not supposed to be a part of your life. Why do you celebrate? You begin to celebrate because you know that the vision that God put deep down on the inside of you, where he said where you're supposed to be going and what you're supposed to be doing, you're going to make it there. Now, why are you going to make it there? You're going to make it there because he said in his word, and he very firm on different things that he say in his word, but also he firm on things he tell you in your spirit, man or woman. He said, I give thee angels, I give angels charge over thee. What does it mean to have angels charge over thee? Well, to have an angel that has charge over you, it means that you have something that was created by God, that's a spiritual being, that is ancestral, okay, that has the ability to help you navigate in the correct manner to keep you in thy way. What does that mean? That means that when you get off your path and when you're in situations where you don't understand why it's going on, you have an angel, an ancestral angel that is charged to you. What does it mean by charge? Charge mean it means that it's assigned to you. It's assigned to you to keep you healthy. It's assigned to you to give you wisdom. It's assigned to you to keep you from danger. It's assigned to you in order for you to make it to where your assignment is. And while you're doing your assignment, that angel is charged with assisting you, but you have to give it an assignment. You have to tell it what you want it to do. There's a saying that most rabbis and most individuals that are in the Hebrew or Israelite culture or way of life say, and it's called shalom, shalom, grace and peace. Now, what does shalom, shalom mean? Shalom, shalom is a term that means shalom, shalom, grace and peace is a term that means keep me in the way of righteousness. Okay. I just recently found this out about a month ago, because in the church that I go to, we say shalom, shalom after every service, grace and peace. And when you say shalom, shalom, the guardian angel that is assigned to you goes and paves the way before you. And a rabbi told the leader that's over the church this information. And when I found this information out, I like to research stuff. I started looking up angels in charge and shalom, and I found out. And so in any environment you want to go in, you want grace and peace to follow you. What's grace? Grace is time to get things right. What's peace? You want peace around you. You don't want to be in a heavily destructive or heavily weary or un foundational, unorganized environment. And if you in that type of environment, you put there to help change the environment. Why? Because in the word it says, "Greater is He on the inside of you than he whom is in the world." So that means that God will begin to help order you on the inside. He will start to help give you order on the inside and give you peace, and then you help bring peace and order into the environment that you're in. And that's why we is designed to be kingdom builders, because the kingdom is on the inside of you. And so what is a kingdom builder? A kingdom builder is someone that goes and builds the kingdom of God, not only around them, but inside themselves. And it doesn't have to be a church building, because the building is actually made up of people that come inside of the building. The building is nothing more than a representation of a place or a sanctuary or a place where God is supposed to rest in. But the first temple you're supposed to build is the temple on the inside of you. And so why am I talking about this? Well, the reason why I'm talking about this is because as cosmetologists and hairstylists, and you fresh out of beauty school, sometimes you will receive a rude awakening, because in school, you are told enough information to pass the state board and to become skilled, but they don't teach business very well, because the whole school system is set up in order for you to learn how to pass the state board. Now, there are organizations that come to the school where you sit down and interview and talk with them about working in their shop, and you find out what's the booth rent, where does it cap off at? And then there's information that you find out about corporations that want to hire potential hairstylists to come and work for them. And there's a set ways that you're going to make. And then after that set ways, there are incentives that you earn based off of your behavior and your work ethic and what you say, your productivity, which still only puts you at a certain level of income. And the reason why it puts you at a certain level of income is because when you learn how to be in business for yourself, the income that you would regularly earn for working for a corporation, the corporation only pays you 1/4 of the amount of money you're supposed to make. And so what does that mean? That means that if you work for a corporation and the corporation pays you 1/4 of what you're supposed to make, the corporation is making 75% of a gross, of a net income off of you, off of you being there. And if you was able, if you was able to find a way to open up your own business and charge your own pricing for what it is you do, you will be able to keep the money that a corporation would charge you or will make off of you as far as 75%. You will be able to make more money to survive off of. The average uh, working American has to work 2 jobs. And why do they have to work 2 jobs? Because it takes 2 incomes nowadays in order to run a household and take care of a family. So you have single moms that don't have a man in their life, where they have to work almost 2 jobs in order to support themselves and their children. And children don't come with manuals. Children do not come with manuals. And the reason why, it takes 2 incomes to raise a child is because, children are expensive. From the time a child is born, from 0 to 18, you probably gonna spend about close to about $300,000-400,000 on one child over the course of 0 to 18. $300,000-400,000 over the course of a child's life. It probably take about $5,000 to take care of a child a year. And that's not really excluding like any major medical emergencies like surgery or if they break something. We just talking about the bare necessities: food, water, shelter, love, clothing, daycare if they need it, activities like going to the community center, and vacations once a year. $5,000 to take care of a child. That's not cheap. You know, that's not cheap at all. And imagine being a single mother where you got to raise, X amount of children, and you don't have no help. You know, I understand, that can be a little frustrating, and which is the reason why we on today's topic. Today's topic is celebrate while you're growing. While you're growing in this field, you have to celebrate. Now, why do you have to celebrate while you're going in this field? Well, the reason why you have to celebrate is because when you begin to celebrate, it's like throwing a massive party on the inside of you. And the people on the outside of you may begin to receive this party that you throwing on the inside of you. When you begin to celebrate, you begin happy, you're full of energy, you're exuberant, you have a lot of positivity on the inside of you when you begin to celebrate while you're growing. Why? Because the word perfect means mature. How do you become mature? Well, you have to grow to be mature. How do you grow? By trying different things, by learning different things, and by structuring yourself to where as you're learning these different things, you are progressing in your education by trial and error, but also by instruction. Let me give you an example. So you receive wisdom on how to do a particular haircut. As you're learning to do this particular haircut, you're making mistakes. And as you're making mistakes, you're paying attention to these mistakes, and someone may come and correct you, or you may correct yourself. But in it all, there's a period of time before you learn the information to where now you've mastered the information, which means that you don't need correction. You do it right and perfectly every time you do it. That's called growth. Okay. And so when you celebrate while you're growing, what happens is you exude a level of positivity on the inside of you that begins to exude outside of you, and you begin to pick up things faster. Why? Because when you're happy and you love what it is that you're doing, you begin to absorb information very quickly. You begin to absorb information very fast. And in your behavior, because you love doing it, you don't mind going the extra mile to do something. Okay. So you want to celebrate while you're growing. Okay. Now, why is it good to celebrate while you're growing? Well, remember the parable I gave you about the classroom that had the 2 plants and 2 trees, where one, the classroom said negative things about, and the other one, the classroom said positive things about. The one where the classroom said positive things about, the plant grew twice as fast, and you are a plant. Why are you a plant? We are seen as trees. What does it mean to be a tree? It means to be alive. What do trees do? Trees have seasonal things that they do. What are some of the seasonal things they do in the wintertime? The leaves come off. It's cold. It's frigid. It's not really a lot of oxygen going out into the atmosphere because it's not like a lot of leaves, but trees survive. And how do trees survive? Because they store energy. They store water up on the inside of them for the wintertime when it's icy and cold and their roots are deep in the ground and it's cold. Now, what does it mean for what does that mean? Sometimes in seasons in our life, we find ourselves in situations to where the environment is harsh. You have to protect yourself to stay warm. You have to be on guard. There are times in your life where environments are not the best environments, where it may be perceived where it might not be the best environment for you to be in. But in those environments are designed to help you get thick skin. Those environments are to help structure you. Those environments are designed to help you stand the test. Why? What I mean by test, I mean as far as test, I mean by being able to withstand adversity. A new tree that has never experienced winter will not be able to appreciate the other three seasons: the spring, summer, and the fall. Why? Because if a tree never experienced the winter, then the other three seasons would just be a breeze. And then if that tree only experienced those three seasons and never experienced the adversity of failing or being cold or having to protect yourself or being in a very harsh environment, then that tree would never grow properly to understand the four seasons. And if that tree was ever introduced into that environment, it would not last. And so you built to last. Why are you built to last? Because you a tree and you experience all four seasons. And what do these seasons represent? These four seasons represent different times in your life. Okay, these four seasons represent different time periods where you have a certain level of success, or you're working towards that level of success. Then you receive that certain level of success, and then there's a new plateau where now you in a down season. In the barber beauty industry, there's time and periods where things begin to slow down, and you have to prepare for that. Now, why do you have to prepare for the time periods where things begin to slow down? Because you have to be able to survive when things begin to slow down. And so, in those seasons where things slow down, you need to have a savings account where you save money. You need to have food where you have a deep freezer storage full of food, where you have all your bare necessities that you need: canned goods, rice, beans, potatoes, peanut butter, uh, different types of bread. If you're not doing bread and sugar, you want to make sure you have oats and grains. You want to make sure that you have your fruits and vegetables. And if you can't have your fruits and vegetables fresh, you want to make sure that you have them cut up in different freezer bags to where you can pull them out, make your smoothies with, or dice them up and put them in any type of soup or stock or stew. Okay. In your down seasons, when things aren't that prevalent, you have to be able to still survive. Now, what do? In your three seasons where everything is up and moving, you would have to have saved money for the time period where everything slow down so you can still pay your rent, gas, electricity, car note, babysitter, all those different bills that you have to pay during those downtime moments. And while you're going through it, because you were fully aware of what was actually about to happen, you can celebrate. Why are you growing? Why can you celebrate? Because now you've been properly armed with the information that's going to allow you to move forward when things happen. You already are aware of what to do and why. Now, why do you want to do that? Because a person that has the information and the wisdom can use the information and the wisdom. In the word, it says, "And all thy getting, get an understanding." You want to make sure you fully understand and are aware. And that's what make you mature. And you want to be a mature stylist. You want to be a mature barber. You want to be a mature entrepreneur. You want to be a mature business person. Why do you want to be a mature business person? The reason why you want to be a mature business person is because you have worked to perfect your craft. There's a certain level of excellence you exude from your work. And when you exude a certain level of excellence that exude from your work, it begins to be sought after. When your work is so excellent and your work is so mature, people begin to look out and search for you. People will begin to search for you in other states. People will begin to search for you in other countries. And that's why I've instituted myself as being an international educator. That's why I've instituted myself as being a global makeup artist because I don't want to stay local. And the reason why I don't want to stay local is because there is more to this world than where you currently at. There are some students that have never been out of the side of St. Louis, Missouri that's in their zone. When I say zone, I'm talking about the zoning area for the ward that they live in. There are some people that have never been outside of where they at. They have never seen life outside of there. And it's time to open up your mind. It's time to open up your mind and see what else is out there and journey. It's time to travel. It's time to see big things. It's time to dream bigger than where you at. Because where you at, it's not gonna be always. It's not gonna be always. Some of you all have been dreaming about traveling. Some of you all have been dreaming about going different places. Some of you all have been dreaming about going to do different things. You never stop trying to live your dream. You never stop trying to pursue the journey. You never stop trying to live in the means of life that you want to live in. Why? Because God didn't make us to be broke. God didn't make us to be in poverty. God did not do that. And if he's not broke, and if he's not in poverty, and we made in his image and likeness, and we shouldn't be either. There are economic systems in this world that are set in place in order for you to fail. And so you have to want to succeed higher than the systems and structures that are designed for you to fail. That's why you're receiving this information. This information is a wake up and celebrate. Why are you going through? Why? Because you're going to grow. I want to see you grow. I want to see you win. Why? Because when you win and you build and your kingdom manifests, you're going to help somebody else's kingdom manifest because they're going to be looking at yours like, I can do it too. And if you can do it, the people that's watching you is going to be like, they can do it. And if they do it because you did it, they're going to spark somebody else to do it too. And what's going to happen? The world going to begin to be a better place because there are destiny and purpose inside of each and every person in this life. And the destiny and purpose that each and every person have in his life is something that you can do, a problem that you can solve, that God gifted you with, that only you can do. And when you begin to stand up and when you begin to do it and you begin to manifest the kingdom and the vision from the inside of you, outside of you, the world starts to be better. It's like being part of a huge puzzle and you have the section of your life that you fit into this puzzle. And the next person have a section of their life that fit into this puzzle. And when everybody's section of their life with the purpose of what they was designed for begin to fit together, it makes a real big, pretty picture. And that's the big picture. That's the big picture you want to see. So while you celebrating and you growing, while you celebrating and you going through your test and you going through your learning experiences and you going through your adversity, you want to celebrate. Why? Because you're going to start to see the big picture. And when you start seeing the big picture, you're going to know that there is something that is beyond you. There is something more than where you at. And when you begin to realize that there's something beyond and more than where you at, then the roots that is you, your roots are going to start getting deep and foundational, and you're going to start growing. You're going to grow. And I want to see you grow. And why do I want to see you grow? Because I want to see you leave a legacy behind. I want to see you influence your neighborhood to be better than where it is. I want to see you influence your family to be educated. I want to see you influence your family to have their own business. I want to see you influence your family to be the best you that you can possibly be. Why? Because if you your best you and you your most optimal, then your family gonna be their most optimal. And when you have strong families, you build strong communities. When you build strong communities, you build strong cities. When you build strong cities, you build strong states. It's time to change the state that we in. Thank you for tuning in. I Can Get You Fly TV show where you tune in for business after beauty school education. For the enthusiastic, ambitious student who wants to make a six-figure year income rather than a standard 20K per year, I'm your host, Stylist John. You want to definitely rebuild your credit. You want to repair your credit. You want to restore your credit. And you want to be an eagle. What's an eagle? An eagle is someone that dreams and thinks on a whole nother level. And no weapon, no weapon, no weapon formed against you or me shall prosper. To donate, go to my GoFundMe page at www.gofundme.com/StylistJohn. I do cuts and conversations for the community every first Monday of the month. If you would like to be a barber or a stylist that would like to contribute your time and donate your time to helping young men and young women under the age of 15 to help keep their hygiene and not only their hygiene but their self-esteem balanced by a great conversation and a good quality haircut to show that you care, donate. Please donate. Donate your time, okay? We in need of barbers and stylists to come out every first Monday of the month. I will send you the information once you inbox me if you're interested in donating your time and your skill set to help some young men and young ladies out, okay? To help them with their hygiene, appearance, and self-esteem, because ain't nothing like a good quality haircut to make you feel like you're $1,000,000. And you already are $1,000,000, but sometimes you got to feel it, okay? Inbox me your email and contact number and the best time to reach you. For more tips, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can do a search at Stylist John, okay? Or you can just click the link in my video. And if you're a young man or young lady who would like to get your hair cut, or you are a manager, a music artist, professional athlete, and you would like to get your hair cut and styled by me, you can book me online at www.stylistjohn.webs.com or on my style sheet at www.stylesheet.com/stylistjohn2. And I want to thank you for tuning in for Business After Beauty School Education for the enthusiastic, ambitious student who wants to make a six-figure year income rather than a standard 20K per year. I'm your host, Stylist John. I love you, and I want you to celebrate while you're growing. Have a great day.